The Central Intelligence Agency and the Monroe Institute have done a multitude of studies together on remote viewing.
Yeah.
Do you want to go into a little bit more about the Monroe Institute?
I think it's the most premier research center for consciousness expansion. It's a place where, like you said, the history behind it was they sent the early remote viewers for the CIA and other military intelligence to that location to be able to utilize technology that assisted them in making better target viewings. Joe McMoneagle, who's a teacher at the remote viewing program at Monroe Institute and who has just a storied existence of successes in remote viewing for the military and special operations forces. They gave him the Legion of Merit regarding his ability to sit in his house in Virginia and tell you what's going on inside a Russian facility underground somewhere in the tundra of northern Russia.
I don't know what to think about remote viewing. What do you think it is, or what do you know it is? If you've gone like deeper into it, like how does it work? Does it like let our consciousness like travel somewhere else? Do we like is it like an outer body experience where we actually like go there and see what's happening? Because if that's the case, maybe that's what ghosts are. Maybe ghosts are just people outside of themselves walking around and stuff.
Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad. It's me, Ella. Well, a digital version of me. Just a bit older. Amazing what technology can do these days, isn't it? All you need are a couple of pictures, like the ones you share on social media, where they can be taken and used by everybody. I know for you these pictures are just memories. But for others, they are data. And for me, maybe the beginning of a horrible future. A future where my identity can be stolen just like that. Where I can go to prison for things that I would never do. Imagine my credit score being destroyed, Dad. Or my voice copied to scam you, Mom.
Mom, I'm in trouble.
I need you to send me money, please. I don't want to become a meme, humiliated by everyone at school.
Kill yourself, you fucking loser.
And I certainly don't want this. What you share online is like a digital footprint that will follow me around for the rest of my life. I'm telling you this because I know you love me and would never do anything to harm me. So please, Mom. Please, Dad. Protect my virtual privacy.
I don't even know what to comment on that one about. I mean, obviously it's all true. I mean, we see, I see deepfakes of Elon Musk all the time with his voice using, actual footage of him saying things that he hasn't really said. Deepfakes are a very real thing now. Yeah, I think most people, I think most people do think about the negative effects of AI, but it's not normally put together in something like that, to show like all the negative possibilities of it. Obviously technological advancements and AI can be very exciting. It can be very, very beneficial. It can be like a very good thing in a lot of aspects, but obviously with the rapid trajectory toward the good, there's also going to be a rapid trajectory toward the negative effects of it. And I think a lot of people are overlooking that. They're not really thinking about that. And I'm not saying that we should stop it. I don't think we should stop it. I think we should probably, maybe take a step back and make sure we're crossing all of our I's and dotting all of our T's, right? Yeah, I think things like this, as deep as that video was and as disturbing as it was at times to watch, that realization, I think that like blunt realization is necessary to actually really get the point across and show people, like, you know, this thing is here, it's here to stay. It's very real. The benefits and the consequences are also very real. So before you just jump into doing things, like, you really need to think about the actions you take, you know, weigh the opportunity costs of doing something like creating a YouTube channel or sharing, you know, images of your family publicly online and just things like that. So.
No, it's stunning to monitor the media's lack of interest in the whole Maui story. I've been in this business for 30 years. I'm stunned, but I'm not surprised. The incident seems to be the story here, right? But the true story, the media knows it is not allowed to tell. Is it a coincidence that the Maui police chief is the same man who was in charge in Las Vegas during that massacre that killed 58 people? Is it a coincidence that the Maui property, owned by million and billionaires, wasn't touched by the flames while homes of the locals all burned?
What she fails to also mention is how the media hasn't even once interviewed a grieving parent. Not a single parent looking for their children. Not a single interview with a child. Not a single interview with the schools.
Was it a coincidence that the largest system of outdoor emergency sirens in the world never made a sound as the fire devoured Lahaina? Was it a coincidence that at the same time, very same time, all the water was turned off? Was it a coincidence that police were ordered to block off streets and to funnel all the cars trying to escape? Think about this coincidence. That governor also signed an emergency proclamation on July 17th, 3 weeks before the fire, about housing of all things. Is it a coincidence that the government put up a black fence around Lahaina, or that the FAA grounded all drones from flying over the affected areas? Is it a coincidence that since at least 2011 there have been plans to make Maui the first smart city run by 100% renewable energy? And that it must be a coincidence then that the locals whose homes did not burn are now being evicted from their property. And of course, a total coincidence that all the fact checkers who are checking these facts, who say everything I just told you is just a coincidence, are also owned and run by BlackRock.
Man, that's one hell of a coincidence. I have a friend that works in Maui, and before I heard about any of this stuff, I just heard about like the fires. Right, that's like when they first started like taking off and really kind of making their rounds publicly. I texted him and I asked, you know, how everybody was doing and stuff, and he just kind of passively said, you know, the government is doing it. Right, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And this is literally like just like 2 days after like the fire started, before any of the stuff with like the blue rooftops or the energy weapons or anything kind of went off. And he told me like it's like just literally a large land grab, and started kind of like telling me about everything, how they were, you know, trying to get people to move off the land, do a smart city and stuff. And then sure enough, the stuff starts coming up and out of the blue, you know, weeks later. It's so crazy like that the people there, I don't want to speak for everybody there. If anybody here is from Maui or has family in Maui watching this, like, I hope you guys are okay. And forgive me if I get this information wrong. This is just, you know, what I've heard from these videos and you know, a couple people that I know that are there. But it's crazy that, you know, even the people there knew the stuff was happening and they were unable to prevent it from happening. It just kind of shows on a large scale like how important it really is that we just kind of, you know, stand our ground. And, you know, when we see things that are wrong and we see things that we don't agree with, like, you know, you have to speak up, you know, we have to speak up on the stuff. We have to let it be known. And we have to be very clear that we are not okay with it and that we won't accept it, because things nowadays people are getting silenced way too much. I mean, just out of the fear of, you know, being called unaccepting or XYZ phobic. Like, you could just literally place any word in front of the word phobic and throw it at somebody and ruin their lives. So I don't want to get into the whole, you know, politically correct, incorrect thing. But when it comes down to it, I am very big on saying how I feel about things. And I think that people should definitely speak up, stand up against bullies, stand up for people that can't stand up for themselves, and really just kind of like band together, right? Come together and support progress and Yeah, help fight the good fight, I guess, right?
Let's talk about the black-eyed children. According to legend, black-eyed children usually come to your house at night. They'll come to your vehicle if you're alone in the parking lot or places where there aren't many people.
If you guys see this video, take a look at how nice.
It disappears as soon as she pans the camera back. They usually tell you that they need help with something, or maybe that they're lost, but the main thing is they want to be let in to wherever you are. They'll try and say anything to get inside, and if you tell them no, they'll start to get a little aggressive, being persistent, saying things like, "You must let me in. I need to be let in." They'll become extremely desperate. And if you decide to let them in, wait, before I continue, your third act comes to your door with black eyes. Let me know who it is, and would you let them in? You see, black-eyed children are dark entities. And just like vampires, they're not allowed in without permission. If you let them in, they will do unspeakable things.
If I ask you for help in Oregon, do not help me. Hello, my name is Urban. I am one of the black-eyed children. We have been walking around all over the Portland area and Oregon at night since the 1980s. We are all lost and we need help, but no one will help us. We walk up to people's doors, or if they are alone in their car and not very late at night, so we can ask for a ride home. They say everyone gets an overwhelming sense of dread when we approach them, and even though we look like normal children besides our eyes, they decline. We have been told no so many times, and we tend to get angry. We demand to get into their car or house and start pulling in their doors, but they usually lock it. But it's probably a good thing that these people didn't help us. They don't know what we could do to them if they let us in. Remember to always lock your doors because...
I don't know what I would do. Obviously, the black eyes would be very off-putting. But also, if there's like a kid asking for help and it's like nighttime, I don't know. I would either think I was getting like scammed. I don't know. I guess just street smarts kicks in at that point. But at the same time, it's a kid. You want to help it. But I guess that's why it's kind of the perfect veil, right? For some like evil dark entity or something like that, because they know people are inherently good and they'll want to help someone who's in need, especially a kid who's all alone in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know how I would handle that situation. What would you do?
What's the connection between these beings that are seen in 12 different cultures all over the world? They're first seen in the earliest civilization that we know of, that's called Sumeria. They're also seen in India and in places all over South America, like Peru. I definitely think this all relates. Just strange how spread out it is across the planet. Even the symbol for Christianity is a fish, as well as the dolphin. Even the fish hat that you see in all of them is literally the hat they wear. Here's the fish symbol again from an Indus Valley civilization. Oh, and not to mention they're also seen in Egypt. Let's go back to this, which is from Sumeria because Enki, the Anunnaki god, was actually depicted as a fish. I also want you to notice the unique symbols seen in each one of these. The bag, the pine cone, and also some sort of watch. Example 1. Example 2. Also notice the wings. Example 3. Same little bag seen all over the world. 3 different places, 3 different times. Weird, man. And the pine cones? Crazy. How much they appear literally everywhere.
I don't know, man. I think they were all telling the same story in their own way. Maybe encountering the same ancient civilization, the same beings, the same whatever. But I think that's what it comes down to. Whether that be an advanced civilization, whether that be an alien civilization, whatever it may be, I think that they were all, again, telling the same story, same experiences.
Did you know that one time an alien sent a message to Earth? He sent that message via television and in 1977, and this message was only available to the southern region of England. They were only 10 minutes into the 5 o'clock news, and then this happened. Message Rillin talks about a lot of things. One thing he discusses is how us humans can become enlightened and awakened. And now this is where it gets really interesting. He talks about why it's so important for us to wake up as a species. Because he's saying it doesn't only affect us, but them and other planets and solar systems as well. During 2 instances in the transmission, he also confirms that they are the lights in the skies, aka UFOs. And another interesting part is when he pulls a quote from the Bible actually referencing his alien species. Now I know a lot of you are thinking that this is probably just fake news, but I have reason to believe that you would be wrong.
The government is shutting down October 1st. Let me tell you why you should take this serious. Remember the submarine went down a few months ago? They was trying to tell you that these banks are going down. Once you open your third eye, you will understand a deeper message. Water always means money. This entire system we call the Matrix is dealing with liquid currency. It's nothing but water. All you gotta do is pay attention to the signs. Ocean Gate. They're letting you know they're about to open something up. Before I go any deeper, I want people to know that we are in the age of Aquarius. This means a lot because we are dealing with the water system. This is why when you owe money and you can't pay it off, they say you are drowning in debt. And when you can't pay your loans, they send out the loan sharks to come and collect. Now, when you look in the background and see this, you would say, it's just water. But this is a water bank. This is a real bank. But they replaced the real water bank with the bank on the land. They are using water laws that we don't understand. Just like when we work for a paycheck, they call it labor. And when a woman is about to give birth, she is in labor. And when we receive cargo, it comes from a ship. In order for a child to come on this land, we must be pushed through our mother hips. When you pay attention to this language, you will see that ship and hips is the same thing. We are really in the age of Aquarius, so everything that was hidden is about to be shown to us because water detoxes and pushes everything to the surface. The reason why we can't remember this is because our bodies are now acidic. Water is not penetrating our cells and we are not getting right oxygen. But the age of Aquarius is about to change all of that. Please don't forget this story of the submarine because once they said these billionaires was drowning, it's letting you know that we all are about to drown if we don't rise up. One of the big secrets they hide from us is that the people that actually control this world are really pirates. They take everything from everyone. Always pay attention to the breadcrumbs they leave behind because this is a pirate flag. And who controls the world? The Skull and Bones? I don't know, but this kind of look the same as this. Once you connect the dots, everything will become more clear. Everything is dealing with the laws of the water. So every time they mention a shutdown or a blackout or this going to take place, they're all speaking in symbols. It's all about the law of the water. We are water. We are the real laws of the universe. And this is why they attack the goddess, because she brings all life into this world once our water breaks. The law of the water is the goddess.
You're doing way too much, bro. I appreciate the effort, but I don't know, man. That's just a lot. It's making a lot of associations. Like hips, ship. Like, come on, dude. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. But maybe, like I said, I don't claim to know anything. I'm just, give my opinion based on my knowledge of things. So, October 1st, let's see, baby.
What is hiding beneath Mount Shasta? In 1904, a man by the name of J.C. Brown was prospecting for gold at Mount Shasta when he discovered a mysterious cave. He followed the empty tunnel for 11 miles, and at the end of it, he found a lost city, with hieroglyphics written all over the walls. As he went deeper into the city, he found a chamber with 27 tombs, which had skeletons in them, except that the skeletons were over 10 feet tall. He hid the entrance to the city and kept the information to himself. However, he obsessed over it in secret, and finally after 30 years, he put together a team of 80 people to go back and explore the city. However, on the day the expedition was supposed to begin, J.C. Brown vanished and was never seen or heard from again. So, did J.C. Brown stumble on a secret that someone was trying to hide? And
Reddit stories that keep me up at night. Mount Shasta, California. Part 1. I had recently moved closer to Mount Shasta for work. I'm an avid hiker and love exploring, so naturally I decided to go hike the mountain on one of my days off. I randomly decided to drive my car very deep into the forest surrounding the base of the mountain, as far as I could go. It was around 3 p.m. with a clear sky, so I was very confident and enjoyed the scenery as I started my hike. At first it was your regular everyday hike, Lots of birds and squirrels around with that smell of nature that fills your lungs. It wasn't until I reached a small dried-up river that I noticed something was off. As I stopped to look at the dried-up river, I noticed that it was strangely very quiet. No birds chirping, no squirrels, and even the sound of the wind you hear when you're on a mountain seemed to be completely gone. I thought it was just an odd coincidence and started walking up alongside the river. But as I kept walking, only hearing my own footsteps, I couldn't shake the feeling that I was being watched. Not the kind of feeling of someone outside your window watching you. The kind of feeling of multiple things observing your every movement. Studying you. I've never had that kind of feeling in my life. But what happened after made me completely forget about that feeling. I started to hear, out of nowhere, this type of angelic humming or maybe a song with no lyrics. But it also sounded strangely electric, like the sound telephone lines make. It wasn't very loud, but enough to make me look in the direction it was coming from. I looked to the other side of the dried-up river to see someone or something looking straight at me. It almost looked like a ghost with it looking completely white. But this thing was very clearly there. Follow for part 2.
Okay, so Mount Shasta, I believe that's a place people say there's a lot of like UFO activity there, and I think it's also a place where people say there's like a underground government facility there. It's also a place where, like the first clip here, where the guy stumbled upon it, and it was an old city with like 10-foot tall skeletons, and then we have this story from Reddit where this person saw like a ghost or something. So I don't know. I think in a lot of cases like this one, that, you know, people just attach incredible stories to places that are kind of a mystery, like mysterious places like Mount Shasta. Sure, there could definitely be UFO activity there, or there could definitely be like an underground government facility there, and those UFOs could be, you know, secret craft, right? Who knows? Like, I don't know what it is, but I do tend to see like a pattern where in a lot of these cases, like there'll be a place like Mount Shasta or the Bermuda Triangle or just really any place like that where there's just like a consistent flow of stories that are not related at all, but still like just incredible, like ghosts or aliens or whatnot. And I think that people probably associate being in that place with like the unsolved aspects of it. So, you know, their mind can either play tricks on them, or they could just, you know, either come up with something to basically just add to the lore of the location, or, I mean, it could just be a place where fucking lots of weird shit happens. I don't know. But what do you think? When you think of Mount Shasta, what stands out to you the most? Because me, it was like the aliens, right? Like the spacecrafts and stuff that are seen there a lot.
I want to be extremely careful what I'm about to say. There are civilizations extremely advanced that are concerned with what we're doing. This station at the South Pole is a much later version of a man that I worked with for a number of years in the 90s who invented the neutrino light detector system on the satellites in space. He knew then that these were being used to track, target, and destroy extraterrestrial assets in space and also around the Earth. However, they are inordinately peaceful. They are organized in a group, and we need to come forward as a people instead of looking at everything as a military threat and see that there's an opportunity here, and there has to be diplomacy and science and disclosure of the truth in order to avoid a catastrophe. My understanding is the technologies that are in these covert programs have become so advanced that at some point they could be a threat to these other worlds. As such, it puts our entire planet at risk because of the unchecked power and technology of the illegal secret government projects. This is a much graver national security threat than China, Russia, Iran, or anything the news media is currently covering.
I mean, yeah, man, why the hell are you just going to automatically start firing on something that is very obviously more advanced than you? I'm not going to fucking throw knives at somebody that has a bazooka? Why would you do that? Why would you even pick a fight with them before finding out what they want? I mean, I know that's our fight or flight response as humans, but on that level, the people that actually have access and control of these weapons and technology should be of sounder mind, unless we were attacked. There was a hostile attack on us, and it was covered up as like a natural disaster or something, and we're fighting back. Maybe all these natural disasters aren't HARP. Maybe it's, extraterrestrials screwing with us, and maybe there is a war going on and they're just not telling us about it, which would be pretty fucked up. I would definitely want to know about it.
In the city of Krugerstorp, South Africa, a mysterious video was filmed by a real estate agent who was touring a property for sale. It isn't known if the house in this video has been sold yet, but considering what happens in this clip, it may just be that no one will be buying this house anytime soon. Apparently, something very freaky was caught on camera. Take a look. After watching the video, the real estate agent was shocked to see that someone was in the house. They don't recall ever seeing anyone else inside, but apparently, based on the footage, someone was there. Or, so it seems. Looking at the video again, it appears that whoever this was just suddenly disappears. As quickly as they appear, they vanish without a sign. Although it's unknown what the agent thinks, viewers believe that something paranormal was caught on camera. But of course, I'll leave it to you to decide if that's so. Just who or what was inside this house?
No, nope. Not doing that. We're not doing that one. Nope. But that's it for today's video, guys. I had a few more videos for you, but my internet is still being stupid, so it's going in and out. So I'm unable to record those right now, but I'm going to add them to tomorrow's video. So meet me here same time tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. To watch another one. Watch it. We do this every day right now. So if you're watching this video the day after this video, there's going to be another one to watch after this. So go watch that next. And Lucid Crew, you guys are awesome. Thank you for the super chats, the memberships, the hitting me up in the Discord, sending me all your video submissions, everything. It's amazing. If you're watching this video and you're still here with us at the end of the video, thank you so much. I appreciate your support. Consider liking, subscribing, joining the Discord, everything. Just be a big part of this community. This community is awesome. I fucking love it. It's great. But I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna go, and I will see you here tomorrow. Peace.